Season 2, Episode 4, Black Belt, former doorman. We're about to talk about prison, martial arts and mental health. I'm delighted to be joined by Shaun Knight.
Hi Chris, how you
Shaun,
doing?
how you doing, brother?
Good, thank you, good.
Right, we're going to fire straight in with out of a cannon.
Okay.
Night or day?
Day.
I thought you'd gone night.
I was, not now.
Jack Daniels or Daniel's son?
Daniel's son.
Money or experience?
Experience.
Experience. A-Cash or the Balti House?
A-Cash.
Luxury resort or caravan park?
Oh, that's an hard one. I've been on caravan parks, love them. But now in the future, my kids, I sort of like to take the luxury of there.
Go for luxury.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee or Bruce Forsyth?
Bruce Lee, 100%.
Win the crowd or win your freedom?
Win your freedom.
Good man, bit of gladiator. Thank you very much, that is out of the cannon. Right, Shaun, so we're going to drag it all the way back to the start for you.
Yeah.
If you can tell me about your youth, where you grew up.
Yeah.
I think you've always been a Pompey boy, haven't you?
Always, yeah, always. So I was actually born down here, down in Portsea in the 60s, 1966.
How old are you? If
I am 57.
57?
57, yeah.
Doesn't even seem possible. You look great for 57, mate.
No, 57, mate, yeah. Born down here with my two brothers then, two older brothers, Michael and Gary, on the streets of Portsea playing here. Loved it down here, actually, until 1974. We moved to Buckland. Okay. With my two brothers, older brothers, and we had a younger brother, Darren, then, my older brother, Michael Gary, on the streets of Buckland. Loved it round there as well.
Was that an upgrade from Portsea?
Well, we lived in a flat down here. It was a small flat down here, but we played over the parks, across the road here. All the kids around this way now. Still some of the families are still down here. But moving to Buckland then, Darren, my young Darren, he was a young baby. Yeah, he was a baby because he's 5 years younger. But moving into the streets, Adjunct Court Road, moved to a house, so it was an upgrade, yeah. Council house, my dad worked hard. He worked then for the council then, so he was digging the sewer drains up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, doing the sewer drains.
So you're one of 6 lads, is that right?
One of 6 now, 6 boys, yeah. 6 boys. From different ages, youngest being, younger Glenn,
Yeah,
Lee.
so you're quite a big family.
Yeah. So it's all good. But then when we moved straight round Buckland, I remember the street, there's a lot of lads in the road, a lot of boys. And there's a few fights going on as a kid growing on, not that we wanted to do that, but then they become your mates later on in life. It's weird, you live in the street, you're a new one from a new area, they want to try you, test you out. Not all the time, just a few. Then they're growing up, they become my close mates growing up in Buckland.
So did you have a few scrapes in Buckland?
Not like they kids of today do, but it's just a little few scuffles here and there, but 1 or 2 down the road. And then these guys you had them scuffles with growing up. You only like kids 8, 9, 10. They become your good mates growing up. I was best man to one of them.
Oh really?
At the wedding, yeah.
That's how you met. You had a scrap.
So we had a scrap, become mates, played the football together, and then I was best man at his wedding. Yeah. So it's crazy, isn't it?
Funny how it works.
Yeah, funny how it works. Yeah. So one of my mates there I grew up with, Tony Page, young Tony Page. God bless him, he's not here today. And we was inseparable as kids. Right up the age into our 20s, inseparable. And then he's not here today. He passed a few years back. Yeah.
Oh really?
Same age as me. Yeah. Brilliant footballer.
Was he?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Should have gone pro, but he just didn't go down that path. He was absolutely brilliant as a kid. Yeah.
So you always been involved in the martial arts from a young age?
Yeah. Started karate at 9. That was the age then with the karate union of Great Britain, JKA then. My dad took me. My older brother done it, karate, Michael, already. Gary and me. So my brother's just a few years older than me. He took us down to Albert Road School. My dad used to get on the front of he had an old butcher's bike.
Yep.
So he didn't just like driving my dad, so he'd get me in the front of the butcher's bike, like my karate suit. He'd drive me down all the way down from Buckland down to Napier Road School and Albert Road. Yep. Go in there. Tony Denham was our instructor then, and he was brilliant, man. Strong man, sharp, could handle himself. And as kids, he took no shit from us lot. He just got on with it, And if you messed around in his club, he'd get you outside, he'd put you in the face, said, "Go and mess around in front of me," but he never did. So that was in 1976, I started karate. going up to Crystal Palace as a young kid competing, not in Kumite then because I was young, but it was more kata. Not doing so well as a young kid, but there was always a team back then, I think from Kilburn always used to beat us. And then for
Hard
many
area.
years, hard areas. So then, karate many years younger growing up.
So you boxed as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I've sort of trained, I've boxed down here for the Portsmouth Rotary Club.
Okay.
And we had the likes of Mark Ballard training then, Tony Knowles, really good boys, watching them train. And I was doing my karate still, but I wanted to do the bit of boxing to see where I was because the fitness was brilliant without my karate. And I remember training with Chris Sivroyd was our trainer then down here, brilliant trainer. And he gets running all down Portsea. And I remember first got carded at my first fight over the Isle of Wight. 19.
19? That's quite late.
Late, yeah, too late. Because I was doing my karate the way through and I stopped for a bit, then I went back again. I was sort of flipping a little bit as a young age between different sports. Maybe that's why George gets it now. Probably he's getting his head down into it. But at 19, I was over the Isle of Wight, the show over the Isle of Wight. And all the boys used to fight down here, box down here, was over there, the show, big show. And I was the last fight of the night, starving hungry, just to keep your weight down.
Really?
Come out, the crowd booing you.
Yeah, headliner.
Yeah, crowd booing you as you come out heckling you. Got in the ring, and I've never felt I was this tall, skinny. So I'm not tall, I was lean, skinny. And this guy come out, I thought, bloody hell, I was built like this. Come out, and I broke my jaw in the second round, but I won the fight. Didn't lose, didn't give up. Yeah. So I remember going down in the second round. I took a knock on the jaw, went down. My teeth. When I went back to my corner, my trainer said to me, take a gum shot. I took my gum shot. I felt my jaw moving. They got a doctor in the corner.
Yeah.
And back then you wouldn't hear it. The doctor come over. So I think he's fractured his jaw. And he let me carry on the fight. Didn't stop the fight. And I remember biting hard on my gum shield, going out the third round, because I knew I was winning. So I dropped him in the first round, he dropped me in the second. The third one, it's a bit of a brawl. I don't know if it was a box match. Can't remember too much about it, Chris. It's all a blip. If I'm honest, I could tell you what was going on. I just remember going down the second round, seeing a little few things going on in my head.
Baptism of fire.
But you sort of get up to the count, and it was a bit of a brutal fight. And I won on points.
Yeah.
So I've had my jaw broke, all the way back home on a ferry, couldn't eat a thing, hungry, face swelling up. All your mates trying to talk to you and trying to talk through your teeth. Long story short, quick, went to the hospital, they operated, I was wired up my jaw for 6 weeks, couldn't talk, I had to take a tooth fear missing, so I did it for a straw, sucking everything through a straw for 6 weeks, liquidised, broke my jaw, and I went back training here with a broken jaw wired up on the bags and pads, obviously, and then I was doing my karate that, and I was better at karate than I was a boxer, if I'm honest, so I used my feet and my legs.
Did you have any more amateur boxing?
No more amateur boxing, no, I had that won the fight, broke my jaw.
Unbeaten?
Yeah, unbeaten record, yeah. But when I went back to karate, I remember getting kicked in the face by a guy, big guy, kicked in the jaw. It's just that you're apprehensive to go in when you've got this jaw broke before, and he kicked me so hard, it was fine. And they do say it knits a bit differently, so right down here, broken jaw. But yeah, so I'll carry on my karate then right through, and then carried on, from then, right up to about my 30s.
So how was your early sort of school years? So you mentioned to me, obviously, you did get into a bit of trouble when you were younger.
Yeah,
Can you explain a bit about that, please?
So school, for me, first school I went to down here was Beneficial St George's. When we moved, I went over to Buckland, a school called Wellington Place, an old Victorian school. They knocked it down and moved everyone to a school it was called Buckland Middle School. Okay. Now I think it's called Flying Ball or something like that now. But it's Buckland Middle New School.
Yeah, I remember Flying Ball.
Yeah, Flying Ball. So it's Buckland when we was brand new school. And school was good there, it was all right, And I remember you go to school, it's just get on with it, get to school. I remember I didn't play football in the school, I played cricket. Okay. And then I went to... that was okay. Then I went up to City Boys School, allocated school for me, City Boys, all boys school then. Yeah,
that's where I went, City Boys.
City Boys, yeah. So I went up to there, a few years getting on with it and that. And then at the age of 15, started bunking off me and my mate Tony Page, going down the fairground, arcades, playing ball on the streets. I remember my dad always... Because you had a beat all, just knock your door, score, beat all, knock your door, where's your son at school, he in the school. And you get in trouble then, back in trouble, really strict on it then. And I remember, I didn't know how long I had off, and I remember he come to our house, he said, look, your son's not been to school for months. And I remember my dad taking me in the gate to school, taking me all the way to school, said, you've got to go in. I went in one gate, I just come out the other gate, sit like that all the time. And this went on for about 6 months, and I remember going to court, not knowing what I'm going to court for down here, magistrates. And I think at the time then, they would if you rode on a paintball, we had no lights on your bike, you're so petty, you'd go to court for stupid things back then.
Really?
I remember going to court, and there's all these people in the court, my dad standing behind me, and the social worker come in, and the judge went in, and they put me in the children's home, 15.
For truant?
For truant school, 15, yeah. So they put me in children's home, yeah. So I went down to Yarbough Road then, Yarbough House it was called then. It was just a short stay till they can allocate you where you're going to go.
Yeah.
And they moved me up to Portsdown Hill, to Kerr House. I had to stay there until I left school. So when you first go there, you're not allowed to go home straight away. They've got to vet you for a while. And after a couple of weeks, you're allowed to go back home weekends now and again. But yeah, it was, I remember bunking off school once when I was in a home. I remember coming back home. Oh no, you think I'm telling Mum, you wasn't allowed to have certain things. Everything was taken away from you because they would phone up the school to see if you was in school or vice versa. I was only doing that, so I remember they gave me 28 days first, 28 days to see where I changed.
Okay.
And I remember after that 28 days, it was because I knew where I was. I knew I wasn't ready. I knew I'd bunk off again. I asked to stay in for another 28 days, so I can stay for another to my social worker.
Really?
And rather coming out, I stayed there till I left school. I left school at 15 though, but I left 15 because I was early 15. I left school when I was 15. That was in the May. But I remember even in that children's home, I met some good friends there.
What was it like? Was it rough?
No. That wasn't rough at all. That wasn't rough. It was easy. They buy you nice clothes. They took us camping over sandy balls, horse riding. Had a full-size snooker tables. The only thing that was hard about it, I was away from my mum and dad, and that was the thing I didn't like. Then I was family orientated. Probably a little bastard. I was a little bastard as a kid growing up a little bit. I was probably hard for my mum growing up. My mum and dad, I remember she telling me when I grew up, you was a little git when you was a kid. You turned out good as you're older. Changed. I said by mistakes, obviously you do, but.
I think
we all do,
yeah. Bit of that, yeah.
So children's home come out, and then I was like, but it's growing up as a kid that age, it was like you're still trying to find yourself. Didn't know what I wanted to do, and then obviously getting in troubles on the streets with the mates, getting in trouble, silly little things, police chasing you off the streets, playing on the streets. 17. At 17, I remember I've sort of left home a bit at 17. I wanted to be doing my own thing at 17.
Yeah. What were you working? Were you studying?
So at 17, no, I wasn't studying so much. I left school. I didn't take no qualifications.
Did you get any GCSEs?
Didn't take any. No. I come straight out. I wanted to work straight away because I used to work with my dad a lot as a young boy in the holidays. And things like that, because he was a builder. When I was older, he's a builder, done his own thing, he had his own business, and he come out of the council.
Yeah.
So I'd work with him, knocking up gear, carrying stuff around, a bit of bumping here and there. This is the roof.
Carrying?
Yeah, anything but just a bit of work, earn a bit of money really. And then I remember working down the fair. I thought I wanted a bit of money, so I started working down the fairground. A little bit of things with the fair boys, and that was an experience. Not too long there, and then my first actual proper job really, before I went roofing, was working in a scrapyard. Okay. Watching a scrapyard with the Bartholomew's. Yeah. The Bartholomew family then. And I worked in a scrapyard, and then they was shortening the business. And I remember I thought, I've got to earn some money. I've got to earn some money. So me and my mate, we got a window cleaner round up.
Oh, really?
We was knocking doors streets. So we had a bit of money, peanuts really, but knocking doors. And we got this sort of round up.
Yeah, good. Good little number.
Yeah, good little number. And then on this job one day, a truck went up the road, pulled over, said, do you want to... My mate come out, and he's not here now. He's just passed now. One of the boys, and back then. Rob Tomley, I don't even know the boy. He died a few years ago. Bless him. He's younger than me. Grew up on the streets of Buckland with me. He passed. He's a brilliant roofer. He come up and said, Sean, Pat wants to know, we want a job with us. We need blokes to work on the roofing game. That was it. I worked for Pat for 5 years, and it wasn't for him. I wouldn't have my own business there. He started me off on the roofing trade. Oh, really? But
because you worked the doors, didn't you? Like down the town, you're on the doors.
Yeah, I was on the doors. Yeah.
What age were you on? Because I remember when you were on the doors. Because obviously back then was when I was going out.
Yeah.
You were on time. Were you on time, weren't you?
I was on time and envy.
On the seafront.
I was on time and envy, but before that, I was going to say, when I was 17, I come off the roof because I got put in Asla, didn't I?
Oh, did you?
To Asla Detention Centre.
What? Oh, obviously.
So before, so I started roofing and I went to Asla.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went Asla DC, which was brutal, actually brutal place. Short, sharp shot then. But the longer you're in, the more you get
So is that a youth detention centre?
It was 17 to 21.
So an adult detention centre?
About 17 to 21, yeah. That was over Gospel.
So it's like a pre-prison.
So there was all the officers out there, all the screws out there were ex-military. Okay. So that everything's marked position. You can't lay in your cell like they do in prisons today. You couldn't smoke, you couldn't do nothing. You had to run a mile every week. If you didn't beat your mile, you were in front of the governor, you lose days.
God.
So you had to run a mile every day.
Yeah, how long were you in there
every
for?
month. I had 4 months, I had the maximum sentence, 4 months.
What for? What did you for?
It was fraud and deception.
All right.
On when I was 17, I told you I moved out.
Yeah.
We moved out. I moved into a house in North End. One of my mates, well, so-called mates in there, and he cashed a cheque. But then he went to a bank, opened an ID up in his name. How he done it, I don't know. Back then, it was in North End. I think it was either Raleigh Facts or something like that. I was with him because I was with him, aiding and abetting. Both got done for fraud and deception. He cashed someone's gyro.
Okay.
On a fraud name.
Right.
Only for something like 67, it's a stupid amount, but it's still fraud.
Did he get done for it as well?
We both went to Asler. No,
together?
No, I went to Asler, he went somewhere else. 4 months, I went to Asler, he went somewhere else. Not sure where he went, never see him again after that. Really? Never see him again, don't know where he went.
Did he move out of the area then?
Well, probably, I don't know, we never see him again.
So so early doors then for you, something that I didn't know. So your youth was quite traumatic, really. Obviously, by the time you got to your 20s?
20s, yeah.
You'd been in and out of institutes twice.
Yeah, well, a few times, we just a few times, but that was just for stupid things, like you get fined for stupid offence, and then they put you away back then. But I think when I was,
So you come out of the detention centre,
and I was fit then. I was really fit when I come out.
And then you went back onto the roofing, did you?
Back roofing all the time. Then that was it. That was my job, roofing. That was it. Yeah. Roofing, and then it's obviously, like I said back then on my early interview there, when I was 19, I was doing my boxing, getting fitness, because I think Asler got to give me the foundation to get fitter.
Regimen.
Well, it's hard. The circuit trainers, I don't know if you remember the old wooden benches, on the school. I remember one of the screws in there, one of the guys wasn't lifting to what he was doing, and he couldn't lift his weight up on the circuit. The screw went up and punched him straight in the face with the weights on him, chucked the weights down on his chest.
Medieval.
One of my mates,
banged up for that, man.
One of the guys in town, I won't mention his name because I don't know if I'm allowed to, but one of the guys in town, well-known guy in the town, my mate, come over, lifted the weight off this bloke's chest because of the screw, and the screw went hit him right round the face, and my mate was built like a brick shit house, just looked at him and stared him out. As it was brutal. If you was last getting out the shower, if you're out the shower and you're standing there naked, wet, there's a little screw there, it's only tiny, you're standing, this guy come out, don't know where he's from, a big guy, a big tattoo of a dragon on his back. He was last out, just crawled out, just strolled out. He made him stand there, just hit him on the back, whack! Whack a few times, and he just stood there and looked at him as if to say, I can't do nothing about it, and I see this screw then just walk away. I felt I've overstepped my mark a little bit here.
Sounds like scum.
Yeah, when there was a few battles in there, I went in the block in there. I went in the block, I had a fight in there with this boy from Torquay. Not that I wanted to, it's just you was in dormitories. A lot of boys from the town still, we was all in there at the same time. A lot of boys from football back in the day. We was all in there, we was all in dormitories. And you got to do a bed run. And a bed run is you got to jump on everyone's bed before that light comes on. That light comes on, you're in front of the governor, you're losing time, and that is it.
Yeah.
And it was my turn.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm at the end, and I remember we was in this dormitory, I'm jumping across the beds, and just as I got back in my bed, I jumped in, the lights come on, the screws come in. I see out of bed, I said, it wasn't me. Anyway, cut long story short, this guy opposite us, we was having a chat, what are you in for? Yeah, it's only a short space of time. He said, I'm in for murder. I said, don't be silly, look, this is like short, silly little things, you know, violence, this and that. And he kept on, it was irritating, and this went on, so they gave me a job in the kitchens, which was a brilliant Christie job, really good job then. And I remember in the kitchens, and he kept winding up, and the boys, a lot of boys from Pompey there, a lot of boys, because more Pompey than anywhere else. And saying, John, you got to say, but I said, no, I don't want to lose time. You go in front of the governor, you go down the block. So I remember going in where you take your weights off, and he's come in, and I remember hitting him. I thought, what am I doing? And he cut his eye under his eye. The pots all fell down on us. All the boys are in there, screws were running in. You don't grass him, does that? And then, as the weeks went on, as we're sitting for dinner, because everything had to be march position, you have this nice tie, you have to look smart, everything had to smart, you had to march on the parade ground every morning, you had to run back, everything on your...
militant.
Well, you had to stand by your beds, hands back, name and number. And I remember the screws walk up, and the guy from Southampton was next to me. When he said Southampton, one of the screws just punched him straight in the stomach. He just got to Fratton Park. He hit him straight on his bed. It was like that until you got used to the system. There was a guy in there, and he's a Rastafarian. And I'll go back to the story about the fight in a minute, because it's all coming in my head now. The Rastafarian coming in, and it's their religion not to cut their hair. And they put you in a cubicle overnight, and they come and they inject you. What they inject you, I don't know how they give you an injection. What it was, they didn't ask what it was.
COVID jab.
Yeah, bloody thing. They put you in a cubicle, they come in, the doctor would come in, but he was in there for a few weeks because he was fighting about keeping his dreads all down. Lovely bloke, quiet, kept himself, big fella, really big fella. And next time we see him was on parade ground. They shaved his hair, skinhead. Really? We all had to have an haircut when you were in there. It was a vile haircut. They shaved him to a skinhead. And he couldn't march. So he was marching, he'd go up and down, he couldn't march. He had to march left with everything, like you're doing in the army. And because he couldn't march, this little screw ran across the parade ground. The little one I told you about in the PE,
Hitler.
Hit him right in the side of the face, like that, on the floor, and tried to beat him on the floor. Get back in there, and then went back in, all the time, brutal in there. And that's what it was like in there. But the guy I had that fight with, he was getting out. And no one grasped anyone out. And I remember being in the kitchen, Screw come up to me, Knight, get back in front of the PO's office. Runs down this dormitory, runs down outside, down the corridor, long corridors as it was, standing outside, and I see him in there, the guy I had the rap with his stuff, and then they closed the door on me, didn't let me scare, didn't let us see his face like that. Screw come out, go and get your kit, get down the block. And you had to run down the block. And the block was just a piece of wood. You had no bed in there, you couldn't sleep during the day, there was nothing in the room. And they put me in there for 7 days. Just with a piece of paper, a pencil, and a little table. They said, write a statement, what happened? I said, what do you mean, sir? So I said, what do you mean? He went smack in my face, kicking me on the floor, while one stood next to the door, just curled up, and you had to take it.
Unbelievable.
And the doctor never come round for 2 days, and my face was a little bit swollen. He said, you're right? I said, yeah, I'm fine, sir. And when I got back out, because I never said nothing, I remember, because you never had a lot of sugar stuff, he gave me a Mars bar, he has a Mars bar for keeping your mouth shut. That's what you've done in there, that's what it was. But it was right, yeah, it was different, it was an experience that then, you know, these kids of the day do what they do today on the streets and that just go back and sit in their cells, do this all day. They have that today, and might change a few things on the streets of the day.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different breed. It's a different breed of
it's different breed then.
Kids that we've got now.
Totally different.
From back there.
Yeah,
completely.
totally different. But
it's crazy times, really, when you think about it.
Yeah. And like you say, the door days, working on the door down Time and Envy.
How'd you find that?
Yeah, I didn't mind it. It was weird because I was roofing in the daytime and working the doors at night. But I was doing my karate as well then. And the head doorman then, my mate Frank, he used to do karate with us. Okay. So he got me into it. He said, Shaun, we need some people who knows people's faces on the door.
Yeah, I remember when I used to go down there, mate, and you were out there with a big trench coat on.
Trench coat on, freezing cold, back in the day. And then I remember the same club I got banned from for 3 years for having a fight in there years and years ago.
In there?
Same club, so they banned me for 3 years, then I'm working the doors. So some of the doormen who were working there knew me from then.
Yeah.
Thought, okay, he's working the doors in. Now we banned him for 3 years. 3 years I was banned from there.
At least you're allowed back in.
But to be fair, it was just one bloke who ran it then, the manager didn't like me, I didn't like him. You know, you don't want, I never, ever, going back as my oldest, ever started trouble, never started a fight in my life, didn't like fighting, didn't like bullies, hated them.
How long did you work on the doors down?
I worked, I think, I didn't mind, I think 6 months. 6 months,
was that only a short period?
Not long, because I was roofing during the day, and to be honest with you, when Frank left, it was hard, because I used to work quite a lot. Then it was open on a Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
busy,
Saturday, Tuesday, it would be, it was good. Had some good times down, had some good laughs with the boys,
The seafront used to be the place to be, didn't it?
It was busy.
Well, you had like Time and Envy, Bar Blue.
Peggy Sue's, all the clubs they called them then.
What was Bar Blue like back in the day on a bank holiday? It used to be ridiculous.
Sunday night packed. That's where I first met my wife,
Did she work there?
She worked there, yeah. She worked there, yeah. But yeah, it's...
Because I remember we used to go out and used to kick about with Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff,
and you and Jeff, like together, like you were a bit of a force, weren't you? He's a good fella, isn't he, Jeff?
Yeah, he's good.
He's sound.
Good-natured, funny man.
Nice bloke.
Yeah. He was my best man when I got married. So
Because I went to school with Richie.
Oh, Richie Ward,
Yeah, and he always used to be with Jeff as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, he used to be with you guys sometimes as well, didn't he? And he was obviously like a lot younger.
Yeah.
So, right, we'll fast forward on from that then, because we're covering a lot of ground at the minute. So, what people might not know about you is that you can obviously give your version of events about this, but you were sent to prison for a football situation that involved the match between Portsmouth and Southampton.
Yeah.
Can you, obviously I've chatted to you about this outside when we were working on a film. Let me know obviously what happened that day, Shaun.
Well, it was 2004, I think, was it 2004? It was Mother's Day, I'll never forget it, was Mother's Day. And I was around my mother-in-law's having dinner, sitting there, and I was going to watch a game on TV, I wasn't going to go anywhere, I was going to stay in.
Are you a big Pompey fan then?
Well, as a young guy, I was going to Pompey for some of my mates.
Yeah.
I was never a football hooligan, if you know what I mean. I never seen it like that, but some of my mates say, oh, you was 6, 5, 7 years this. I said, no, I wasn't. I said, I just go to football. Some of my mates were.
So you was never official member of 6, 5, 7?
Never official member, no. Everyone say you was. I said, no, I just go to football. I don't class myself down that road. But my friends were, and that was their thing. But I remember my mate phoned me up, Changer, Steve phoned me up, and my brother, they phoned me up, coming to football. I went, no, not going to go to football. He said, yeah, come on, go and watch it. We'll go and watch it at the pub then. So a lot of lads were in the pub watching it that afternoon. We went up. I remember getting out of my van, driving the van then, reversing the van, went into my neighbour's car straight away. As soon as I reversed it outside my brother-in-law's, I've hit the neighbour's car. Think, oh my God, what I've done. So I drove down to Fratton Roads, met some of the boys, parked up, left it down the road, gone to the pub, drinking, and they said, oh, it's a lot kicking off down Goldsworth Avenue. I went, yeah, they just come from there. I was nowhere there during the day. All that trouble during the day before the game and after, no, I was nowhere there.
Did you go to the game?
No.
Did you go to the match?
Didn't go to the match,
you
nothing.
watched it in the boozer?
Yeah, what we could see of it. Because the reason those two, when they phoned me up to come and watch football, that was actually down my road where I live now in Essex Road. It was down my road saying to me, we're going to the pub, come with us. I went, no, I'm staying this Mother's Day. My wife then said to me, oh, sorry, Sean, you go and watch it. I wish he said no.
Yeah.
I wasn't married to her then, but I wish he said no. But it's my fault. Cut a long story short.
Holly,
my wife, Holly. Sorry, my wife Holly, bless her. And then obviously I used to drink then, we're drinking all day, watching the football, getting a bit irate. And I remember going to another pub down Goldsworth, Electric Arms, and we was going backwards and forwards, about 8 or 10 of us.
Yeah.
Then goes to try to get back into Witherspoons. This is probably as the game's finished. We know it's kicking off outside.
In Fratton?
Down outside the grounds and down Goldsworth Avenue. It's kicked off all day apparently, because I think there's incidents with dogs, horses, people getting hit. Cut a long story short, the lady said, the black guy in the pub, the doorman said, you can't come in here, was closing the doors, we've had a phone call, there's an incident going on. And it's just as he said that, I'm not exaggerating, I turned around, it's something like out of drum. The crowd, hundreds, Pompey fans coming over Fratton Bridge, hundreds of them.
Like an army?
Like an army, just pouring over, coming from everywhere. Then behind that, obviously all the police on horseback with raiding, all the things going on, and then obviously the lads all stood their ground, the police stood their ground. And back then, Chris, drinking, fueled up, I was in my 30s, should have known better. This is a time when I give up my karate for a while. So I was in my late 30s, so I give up my karate for a little bit. And I think then I think I just went off the rails a little bit. I'm a bit fueled up, and then I wanted to get back out. I wanted to go back over the bridge to get back down to Milton.
Yeah.
And I remember this policeman saying to me, you can't go that way, you've got to go that way. I said, I'm not going to walk all the way up that way to go all the way around the circles when I can just cut through there. So I was a bit pissed off. And then it carried on, and I remember these lads just started throwing stuff at the police, throwing stuff from everywhere, every angle.
Bricks and all sorts.
Bricks, rocks, yeah. There's a guy with a wheelbarrow, and the wheelbarrow's full out of all sorts of stuff. And
so was it? Because it wasn't against the Southampton fans then?
No, that kicked off. It wasn't against the fans.
So there
no.
weren't any Southampton fans there.
All that trouble back then.
Was against the old bill.
Was the police, but I'm not just saying that back then. The police won't permit it.
Yeah.
The police was just abrupt from the start. Yeah. From what I see, they won't never admit it. But the police
created a lot of it. They
created the drama. They just brought up, just
so where were the Southampton fans then? Somewhere else?
By then, the Southampton fans, they kept them in the ground for a while. Oh. Then when they come round the crowd, got rid of the crowd, and when that crowd was round into Fratton Road, they probably got them back into the station out of the way.
Because I always assumed it was the Portsmouth fans against the Southampton fans with the
during
police.
During the day, that was the daytime.
Yeah.
That was the daytime when the Southampton fans were going into the ground. But this bit in the evening, when everyone got locked up, it was all over the papers, was in Fratton Road incident. Yeah. Because when you look into it and you're standing in court, you feel an idiot when they read out the hindsight of everything around it. You're standing there, you're sober, you're listening to their solicitor.
So what did they say happened then?
So basically, I picked something up. I picked a bit of wood up.
Yeah.
And I remember having this coat on, and Stephen's got my big trench coat, I had a big Parker coat on, like an old Navy Parker coat.
Yeah.
I've got this jumper, it's reversible. And I picked something up, like that.
At the old bill?
Just one. It's still wrong. I think there's a piece of wood or something next to me on the floor. Things are throwing around. And then didn't think nothing of it, all right? This is honestly, with everything dispersed, everything calmed down. This went on for about 40 minutes to an hour. Cool. Stand off and up down the street. You got a pizza right across the road, whatever it's called, all Domino's pizza down the road. When you're in court, I don't know, cut long story short, I remember being in bed, my mother-in-law, I wasn't married, but my mother-in-law now, phones my wife up, as my wife now, Holly, and Holly's saying to me, go and get the paper.
No, what is on the front page?
Front page of the paper, Shane of Portsmouth.
Throw in the thing?
But not just me, loads of faces. Loads of faces. Do you know this person? Didn't have me, do you know this person? I thought, oh, shit, it's only going to be long. Yeah. And I remember, I had to go to the police station for something.
Ex-girlfriend or someone you've not let into the nightclub?
Well, so probably.
Making a phone call?
Yeah, but it was, you know what, it was a stupid thing I'd done. I remember going down to the police station, and I know a couple of policemen now, friends of mine, even it was football violence officers then, they're out the force now, and, you know, I see them at the gym, chatting to them all the time. That was the last time I never got in trouble again after that. That was because prior to that, I ain't been in trouble for like years and years and years. I was in my 30s, thinking I'm a grown man. Do you know what I mean?
Did they associate you to being a member of the 657 when you went to court?
Yeah, they sort of remember you and all that part. Yeah, football hooligan.
And then so what did you get? So you went out to court.
So I went to court.
What did you get charged with then?
Violent disorder, which can be anything from 2 to 5 years. God. And I'm thinking, shit, what's going on? Yeah, I was actually. Yeah, I was really, because me and Holly haven't been together long then. We never had George, Harry, and Bonnie. We went together long. And
then what'd you get?
I got 18 months.
Where'd you go?
I went Dorchester first. Went Dorchester, me and Stephen. Went to Dorchester.
So did everyone on the front page of that paper go to prison?
Loads. There's 14-year-old kids going to prison.
So they just made
first offence going to first.
So over
example.
200 people, they just made an example of who was there.
And to be fair, they had no choice really. It was when you read back what actually happened and you listen to it, looking back into that now. You know, my kids, I've put my kids up totally different, and you learn by your mistakes. When you read back, a lady was sitting in the car with 3 kids, you've seen this mob run down the road, she's fighting, scared for their lives, things like that. It was all read out in court.
Now we think about our missus with our kids.
And you're looking back and thinking, this is absolutely stupid here. But yeah, they put us away, went to Dorchester prison, and I remember Holly come up a couple of times, then they moved me to Winchester. And I got out quick on good behaviour after 5 months. Yeah, and then I was on tag for a little bit.
How was Winchester prison?
It's a dirty old place, isn't it? It just got on with it. Some of the boys, a lot of the well-known boys in town was in there. I was a cleaner on the wings. I was never locked up much during the day. I was a cleaner.
Keep your head down.
Keep my head down, got on with it. You just do. You see things going on around you. Yeah, sorts of things going on around you there in the showers, and boys like that getting out in the showers and things like that.
Must be a bit of a, I've never been to prison.
It's an old place.
I don't plan on going, but
I don't
is it like a fucking jungle?
Well, back then, Chris, it was like people smoking their cells, do this, do that. A lot of drugs going on in there, people doing drugs all the time out their faces, staying in their cells. The people who wanted to train, you can see that, they go in the gym all the time. We used to train in the gym, play table tennis all day. I was allowed out in the cell because I was a wing cleaner. There's 3 of us. And I was playing table tennis most of the day. And for Backy, it was like, Backy was my currency.
Do you smoke then?
No.
Or did you smoke?
No, I didn't smoke.
Oh, no.
So,
you never smoked?
You're not allowed to do this, but back then, I bought a couple of ounces of Backy. Okay. Because it's money, really, because you can't have money. Right. And you play for Backy. So you have 2 or 3 or 4, and someone say, can I have half ounce or an ounce? Yeah. So you give a double bubble. So if you give them half ounce, they give you double back, and a packet of chocolate biscuits.
It makes the table tennis interesting.
You just got on with what you had there. And I remember having this big box of food on my weekend out. On my weekend, I was going on the Monday. I had biscuits, chocolate biscuits, noodles, crisps. And Denver was in there then, and Lee Bud. They're both in there, the boys in there. Yeah. And I said, Denver come over and Lee come over, and I said, look, and they give me all this stuff what I had left was Backy, loads and loads of it. I must have had 20, 25 pouches. Give it to them boys, they give me a load of food. And I had a big munch up that weekend, and I was out on the Monday. God. And I remember making a phone call, had Screws come over, said, Shaun, do you want to clean our little thing out on the end of the wing? I went, yeah. And I remember let me use the phone. I phoned Holly up on the phone. I think X Factor was on or something like that. On the phone, we're having a chat on the phone. It was ridiculous because you got a pin for the phone. But yeah, back then for the football, going away for that, I didn't think I was going to go away. It was a shock to the system because I was, in my 30s, Do
you think because you'd been in trouble as a youth, that when you stood up in court and you had a history that went against you?
Yeah.
Or not?
Did.
Yeah.
No, it definitely went against me.
You've been in like a youth detention centre and...
Yeah, it definitely went against me. But there was other people, other kids, first offence, getting locked up. But yeah, it definitely went against me in my past. It used to haunt you a little bit, going back, fronting the judge. And I think that was the last time for me. I mean, come out and that was it. Look back, never look back. I just left it
so
there.
So you come out of prison?
Yeah. So, I was with Holly then. Me and Holly sort of rode down,
so obviously Holly stayed with you, then you come out. Did you quit drinking after that?
No,
you're like 18 years sober, aren't you?
No, about 13, 14 years now. 13, 14 years.
I'm 100 days, Tom.
Yeah, well done. It's the best thing that changed me, yeah. Now, me and Holly together, we lived with my mum and dad then. Holly actually lived with my mum and dad when I was up the road. When I was in Wichita, I lived with my mum and dad. Come out and see me, come out of there. Got back straight into roofing and that, working.
Yeah.
Then me and Holly started renting places on our own, renting different places, North End. We moved into 3 different houses. And I think Holly was a person really deep down who saved me as a person the way I am now.
Oh, we all need the love of a good woman.
Yeah, she saved me.
There's nothing more dangerous than a single young man.
No, especially our age.
Yeah.
But Holly, if it wasn't through Holly, I don't know if I'd even be here, mate, to be honest with you. She just, in the ways of going out drinking with the lads weekends,
it's an easy thing to fall into.
Yeah.
You lose friends, you ostracise yourself when you decide to turn around and say, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
So what made you quit alcohol then?
So I went out, I used to do the thing called the Portsmouth Field Gun training. It was ex-military Navy, it was hard, brutal.
You used to do it down the you used to train down the seafront,
Seafront, and we moved all different places. Then we was on Euston Road.
Because I used to see you and the guys all doing your training.
Yeah.
Because I used to play with Will, James, Kerridge,
football,
and like Ant Hewitt, and all those boys. Our team used to train on
Clarence
on the Castle Field.
Yeah.
And you guys used to do your training opposite us at the same time. So I used to see you down there.
Training was good. It's hard. Just running marching boots. But yeah, I'll give up the drinking. I remember going training on a Friday night. We had to train late on a Friday. We had to train on a Friday and a Saturday. Then we had shows coming up. And I remember going on a bender. I never had much to eat that night. Going on a bender, early hours. I went on a bender Friday night. And I remember 4 in the morning, all sorts of things going on. And I remember going into my house and actually sitting there, and Holly's there. George was born then, he was young. And then I felt, let me rewind that. Holly said, I'm going to my mum's. I'm not staying there while you're like that. You've been out all night drinking.
Okay.
Go and sleep it off. I remember in my conservatory, I had a sofa there. I'm laying in the conservatory and I felt all the breathing going on. But cut a long story short, they said, phone an ambulance, a doctor. I phoned an ambulance, come out. He said, you're all right, everything's right, your vitals are right. You need to eat some fluids, you're a bit dehydrated, etc.
Yeah.
Didn't think nothing of it. And he said, I'll just put you in the ambulance quick, let's put you on a monitor quick, just have a check. He said, you got inverted. I went, mate, what's that mean? Do you know what I mean? A little bit of hangover, still got alcohol in the system, quite a lot as well. He said, it's dropping down, so your heart goes like that, and mine was dropping down below it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a regular rhythm.
What age were you? Mid-30s?
So I'm 57 now, so no, I was early 50s, wasn't I?
Early 50s?
No, sorry, early, like 45, 40 something, about 46, 47. Yeah, 47 I think it was.
Yeah.
46, 47. Which is a long way to be drinking alcohol poison. So they said, we've got to take you on, lights on at the end, we've got to take your lights on.
God.
Shit myself.
So you had alcohol poisoning?
Alcohol, so I didn't know straight away, so I've gone up there, they've given me all this blood, and he even said, you've been on drugs, you've done this, you've done that. I said, look, I've been drinking since it, and they said to me, okay. Right, they took some blood from me, they want to check what's in your body. And it come back, he said, you've got alcohol poisoning, your heart, it's like a sponge, it's absorbing everything, you're dehydrated, it's trying to pump the blood around your body, it's working at a rate so far. And one of the worst things we don't all realise, I was drinking vodka Red Bull, and Red Bull's no good to you.
Oh, yeah.
Red Bull, your heart's racing around.
Palpitations, yeah.
So really bad. And then, I remember Holly coming up on, this is a Saturday, Sunday, I'm waking up, and the doctor said to me then, shit myself basically, he said to me, look, your heart needs to go into its rhythm.
Yeah.
He said, if it doesn't go on by this time, we've got to start your heart.
Really?
That's what he said to me. I went, it's a cardiologist.
Yeah.
I said, what do you mean? I've got problems with my heart. He said, no, but you've got alcohol poisoning. And I said, we see a lot of young kids come through it and sometimes don't make it. He said, we've got to is it defib, whatever it's on your heart?
Defibrillate,
yeah. And start your heart. And I was sort of looking at him, looking at Holly, thinking, is this real? Is what's going on here? I remember being white as a sheet. So I just needed to get some sleep. So I think, right, I'll get to sleep. They put me on the drip, put fluids in my body. And I remember this nurse, looked to me, a nurse, I'm probably a bit boozy still, come around to the side of my bed. It was actually a doctor, cardiologist. Yeah. And this was not 4 o'clock. They didn't come to bed at 4 o'clock, they said it did. It's 6:30 now in the evening. I'm thinking, what's going on? She said, look, you can go home in a minute. You just blip back in your heart.
God.
So I said, have I got heart problems? She went, no. But you would go alcohol poison, your heart needs to regulate itself. We had to watch it, see if it done it itself, or we had to shock it back into rhythm.
Yeah. That's crazy though.
I shit myself. And I remember my son Lewis, you know my son Lewis, yeah? He's into the high rocks, fit as anything. Come up in his car to pick me up. My daughter Jay, who's not with us no more, we'll talk about that, but Lewis picked me up in the car, dropping me home. Didn't talk much in the car, felt a little bit, he's my son. I'm in hospital, I'm his dad. Yeah. I felt a bit of an idiot, to be honest with you, thinking on myself, 1 point my son's picking him up, my daughter's round home looking after George.
Yeah, wake up call.
Wake up call, it was a wake up call. And I remember, I said to Holly that bed, I'm never drinking alcohol again, ever. That's me done. She went, yeah, I've had it all before. I said, never again. And that was it, I never drunk again, ever. Scared me. I remember going on a Wednesday, running down the beach with a pack on my back to test my fitness. Yeah. Because I was in the field gun training, was fit, test my fitness, pushing myself, so I had a problem. Yeah. And I never drank again. That was it.
Did you have any little blips with it along the way?
No,
or
no, it's fine.
You
no,
just
never,
made your decision and that was it?
Doing it
cut everybody out that was involved with it?
With your friends, well, so I stayed in for 3 months.
Yeah.
Because you've got all your mates doing what they do when they go out. I stayed in for 3 months. And my little way of getting away from it, when I used to go out down the clubs and bars, because I used to enjoy going out.
Social, isn't it?
Social, enjoy going out.
As blokes, blokes don't sit down really and have coffees and lunches and get together and chat.
I do now.
Well, yeah, we do as we're getting older.
But not now. But then
you socialise and chat to your mates when you're in the boozer and you're watching the football scores come in.
Yeah. And that's what we used to do. It's right. You have a beer, you have a chat, talk shit sometimes. You don't. You have a laugh, you joke.
Exactly. Yeah.
I miss the that side of things. I don't miss the alcohol, if I'm honest with you, because it just. It just opens all different things, doesn't it, to you? But,
sure it does.
Yeah, I'll just give it up. I've lost myself a little bit here, what I was saying, so you might have to edit that out.
You're right.
I've lost myself a bit.
You're good, mate.
No, about the drink a bit. But yeah, so I went home, and I remember going to see this, I remember saying to Holly, not drinking again, I went to see this, Holly went to see this medium woman. Okay. And I'm a bit sceptical with them things, I always have been.
Yeah, blokes are.
But this woman, she saw, the things she said to Holly didn't know about. And I'm thinking, so my cousin Morris, from my mum's side, died at 32 from heart attack. 32. I was 16 then. And he used to drink with my dad, go drinking, let's play darts. He'd come home from he had a heart attack. Yeah. I think, shit, I've got something on my heart and all that. When my wife went to see this medium, all these different things I was talking about, and when I was sat in, I remember sitting out the van, my work van, on the roof, I'm just about to start this roof, I'm sitting in the van, having something to eat, and Holly phones me up, and she said, do you know anyone called Morris? Who's been dead for years? Yeah. I went all cold. I had tears in my eyes. I nearly cried. I wailed out in the car. And even thinking about it now makes you feel choked up, I think. Yeah, I do. Why? She said, he came through, said, if you don't watch yourself and change your ways you are, you're going to end up like me.
Fucking hell.
And I shit myself. Honestly, Chris, I saw a cold shiver come over me sitting in that van, and I thought, someone's told her. But no, from that day, I never drunk again. That was it. I remember going away with the field gun team to Earl's Court. We had to go to Earl's Court, not to run, but to help all the military set up all the equipment. Yeah. And in there, you've got guys, Army, Navy, Air Force, they're pissing up, drinking up, and they call it the Gods, the big bar up there.
Yeah, we watched the field gun years ago at Earl's Court with all my brothers, my nan and granddad. My nan and granddad are from Watford, from London, and my dad took us up on the train. We watched all the field gun at Earl's Court. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it's brilliant up there. That was my first test with the drinking, really, because they were all drinking around me. And then he went up and said, a shandy, I'll have a shandy. It's got half a lager in it, it's got lager. Yeah. And I remember picking this half of shandy up, drinking a mouthful, and I thought, what am I doing? If I touch that, got that beer taste, I'm going to start again. I put it down, I went straight down to where the billets are and went to sleep. But then like you say, for 3 months I didn't go out. And when I used to go out and see the boys, and they're all doing the same thing they'd done when I went in, by about 10 o'clock to get away from them. So I just go to the toilet. And I'll go out the door and go home.
Yeah, but your lot, my lot, all similar type of people, they're still doing it now.
Same thing,
They're probably hung over this morning, mate. That's the difference. When we got here box fresh at 9 o'clock, they're just probably getting out of bed at 10 o'clock.
Or not even going home.
Whacking a bacon sandwich on and watching bloody...
Or talking shit in the kitchen somewhere.
Sports Saturday on BBC One.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's the way it went for me. And I've never drunk again. So it's the best thing I've done.
You're a big family man.
Yeah. So
we'll go on to situation we found. How many years have you been married to your wife?
Been married, better get this right, obviously it killed me. 2009. Right. We had this chat the other day, 14, I'd like to say, hold on Chris, 2009, 14 years, I think,
14 years.
13, 14 years, met together, we met just before that football, we met.
Really?
Really ridiculous, imagine that. And she stayed with me, But we've been together then, we got
You had your opportunity, Holly.
Yeah, we had 3 kids. George, Harry and Bonnie Rose. Also, I had 3 kids from before.
How old's your youngest then?
7.
So you got 7 years.
Yeah, 7.
We got 5 and 7.
Brilliant, isn't
it? Well, you've
yeah.
obviously got experience. You know what you're doing, but it's a knackering old game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a knackering old game, but it rejuvenates you as well, Chris. It rejuvenates. When you get older, you get thoughts in there because you've got the young kids around you. You know, your own thoughts to me, but. I love my kids, and they rejuvenated me. I mean, George got me back into my karate again after that 20-year break because he wanted to start, and I watched him train. So I took him down to Tony Denham's club, and he was brilliant. He was a little natural.
Yeah.
And then Tony kept saying, "Hey, come on, get back in training." I went, "Tony, look, I've been body because I obviously doing my bodybuilding then when I was like 16, 17 stone then, but I had that break, and I thought, no, I can't just. I won't be able to do it. Time my limbs won't take it." And I remember stretching, and my legs were aching for months and months, and I got back into it, and that was it. Now I've got my own club. I've got like 20. About 35 students, probably on paper 45, they all turn up. About 35 students will turn up.
How long have you had your club for? So what's your club called? For anyone that don't know?
Portsmouth Night Karate Club down at Bransby Park, Wednesdays and Fridays. But yeah, it's a good club. We got to England. We had my son who's in the England team. We had Hannah who's in the England team. She's going for selections again next week up in Liverpool.
And your missus is involved as well, isn't she?
Yeah, she's going for a black belt this year. So is Harry going for his black belt. My 11-year-old Bonnie Rose, she started karate, but she's flitters. She's trained or she won't train. She's trained or she won't train. Such a young age, no rush for her.
Yeah, no pressure.
But yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. And I think giving up the drink and your mindset's totally different. Training, all I do is train now. Gym, karate, travelling with the karate.
So I notice you've been doing, one of the reasons I've tried to get on I've tried to get you on this podcast for quite a while, and obviously I've offered it up to you a few times. But then I noticed you've been doing your own posts and sort of advocating mental health and trying to raise awareness and get blokes to speak out. So can you tell me a bit about that, please?
Do you know what? I done. It just came out. It just come alight. It just started. I don't know if you know last year. Last year I don't see the post. We went up. A few of us done the Mountains of Wales 3 Peaks Challenge.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, and I done it for charity because I do charity for child bereavement. I'll talk about that in a bit. But with the mental health things, I think back in 2022, May 2022, I lost my daughter Jade to cancer. That was a fucking nightmare, and I was just in a dark place mentally, where I'm old school. I brought up old school. I get on with it. I just wouldn't talk to anyone. And I remember Holly saying to me, "Why don't you go to counselling?"
Yeah.
I went, I don't really want to do. I don't want to relive that last moment with my daughter to a counsellor.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to talk about it too much. I don't tell my sons about it. It was horrific. I don't want to talk about it. I remember going to this counselling session, sitting in front of this lady, repeating myself. I used to pay for it down in Milton. She was good. Don't get me wrong. She's good at her job. But I was always taught to deal with things myself. I don't know. I've just grown up like that.
Yeah, but you're old school.
Old school, yeah. I was thought like that. So I remember talking to this lady coming home, feeling depressed, choking up and crying, teary, and sitting in front of me. Come on, Molly, say, "What was that like?" I was like, "Fucking knows, Ollie." I said, "I just was drained, physically and mentally drained." Definitely. And that went on for a while. And I went and I tried it again. I went, "Look," and I said to the lady, "Look, I'm not coming back."
Yeah. How many sessions did you do?
2.
Did 2?
Done 2. I've done 2, so I can't come back.
Most people wouldn't turn up, mate, for the first one.
Yeah, I know. I've done, it's a good thing. Don't get me wrong, she's good. She's helped so many people. But what helped me, I still had counselling, but it was from my wife.
Yeah.
So I talked to Holly, and she'll cry or I'll cry. We'll sit there opposite each other. I'll come home, she'll sit in the front room, I'll sit there, we'll have a cup of coffee. I'll start talking, she'll start talking. We're offloading.
Yeah, you've got to do it.
And it's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Because if you don't talk, you suppress it down here.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to mix your emotions. You can be up 1 minute, down the next minute.
Yeah.
And
we mask it well as fellas, don't we?
I never had no thoughts or anything like suicidal thoughts, nothing like that. It was just, I was just in a dark place. And I'll always grieve for my daughter. Always grieve. I miss her every day. And that was...
You all right,
mate? Yeah.
Have a moment. Have a moment.
That's right, yeah.
You're all right. You're fine. Difficult situation.
Yeah, situation. That never goes, Jade. And I remember just saying to Holly, I've got to do something. I've got to do something to help people, no matter what it is. I've got to do something. I've got to raise money for people. And so we started talking, Holly started talking, and it was like Child Bereavement UK. I said, well, can we do that for families who've lost young children and their families going through it? And because we went through it, and Holly, and I felt selfish because I'm going through it, and Holly is going through it, and my kids are going through it. But all the time I'm thinking of what I'm doing. Me and Holly would talk, but she was struggling too. George was struggling. Harry's quite funny.
But you're struggling as well. And you feel, because you've got to be a pillar of strength for everybody else. You're not getting your feelings
across.
And it's too much. It can be overwhelming, mate, can't it?
So then
I understand.
Started raising money for charity. I've done a Spinnaker Tower challenge. We raised money coming down the Spinnaker Tower. And that was great. And then we've done the Free Pigs last year. We're doing another Free Pigs. We're doing the Three Nations this time: Scotland, Ireland, Wales, making money for child bereavement. The karate club raises money for child bereavement. We had a club, Chelmsford Karate Club, Karate in Great Britain. Richard and Jane Naylor, absolutely brilliant. They raised money for us on their competition last year, went to our funds. So I just remember, I just started training. You know what, I need to start talking out a little bit about this, about people helping themselves and about reality, that this is reality. Look, come on, let's get on. You need to talk.
Fair play to me.
You need to talk,
that takes a lot of courage to do that.
You need to talk,
it really
because
does.
as me as a person, like my dad, I'd never talk about it to anyone, even doing this. I wouldn't talk about this, that. And Holly says...
It's therapeutic in itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we're all the same.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm the worst. Like, I'm the worst example myself. I'm open and I speak to people and I check in on my mates, but then when I'm going through shit or struggling with something, I don't tell a soul.
No, you don't.
I don't tell a soul.
You don't.
Apart from my missus.
Yeah, apart from missus. And that's what we do now. I remember Holly's had a little bit... Holly had a wobble the other night, and I said, you're all right. When you live together for someone so long, you know their moods and what's going on. She was really quiet. She was really quiet. I remember she got out the bath and just sitting. I was, you're right. And I knew she wasn't. And then she offloaded there and then started breaking down and crying in front of me over certain things. I mean, she was close to my dad. My dad walked her down the aisle. So in the place of 6 years, I lost my mum, my dad, and my daughter. Less than that, and as all to cancer, all three of them. And it's, you know, my dad was my hero. Mum,
you had a tough run, didn't you, mate?
You do. And Holly's been through that with me, and by my side, she's. And I'm not saying this, and I don't know about you guys. Women are the most powerful thing you will ever see. How can I say? Their resilience to pain is better than us.
Oh, 100%.
They go for pregnancies, they go for this, go for that. I'll keep saying this, Holly. And she's wore it and wore it and wore it, and every now and again she has this little moment. We sit and talk, and she get emotional. Then she feels brilliant. She releases it. Yeah. What I'm saying, while I'm talking, when you talk to someone and you release that suppression of what you've had down there so long, let it out. You cry. Don't care. Don't worry about it. If you cry on the street, don't worry about it. Just get it out. Yeah. Holly. Then next day she was a different person. She felt a lot better. Yeah. And that happened every now and again.
Shed it. Yeah.
She was like, you look a bubble, you look a balloon. Yeah. The balloons go like this, and you're putting all inside that balloon, and all of a sudden that balloon's going to pop.
Definitely.
You got to let it go out. You got to express it and get it out, because you suppress things. I always used to suppress things all my life, and now I talk about things every now and again. You'll see me go on that Instagram talking after training.
I think it's amazing. I back you 100% in regards to what you're doing, because it's really. Yeah. It's not easy. No. It's not easy for anyone, because you're like, you've got this reputation of this big, hard, strong fella. I know you. I know you're on a bit of a different level. Yeah. Like, you're one of the fucking nicest fellas I know.
Thank you.
And I can pick up the phone and message you and go, Sean, I'm struggling with this, or I've got this going on.
Anytime.
Can you help me out?
Anytime.
But I think as fellas, our strength is in our vulnerability. Yeah. But the difference is people aren't prepared to show their vulnerability. No. Because they think it's weak.
I think more with males than it is females.
100%. Male suicide rates, for example,
really high.
75% of the suicides in the UK are males. 75%. Like, it's a massive issue.
It is an issue, big issue.
And people need to speak out more about what you're doing.
People need to do more about it.
We'll back you 100% with that, mate.
I think people, it's hard to, you can see, if you look around, you see this, we're all, as males, even if you had a bad day, you could have had a bad 2 hours. No one knows what you've done in 2 hours. You see someone, you're right, mate, all right, mate, not too bad, you're right. And that's what you do. We're just robots, aren't we, to doing it.
No one's like that.
Because you're not going to go up to someone and say, how you doing? You're right. No, mate, I've had a... Do you know what I mean?
I've got the fucking weight of the world on my shoulders. All right, see you later, mate.
And do one.
And chat to that geezer.
But my mate Jeff was good. Back in there, when I was going out drinking, Jeff was always saying, John, what are you doing? Staying out drinking. He was always trying to get me to stop then. Jeff was always there. You had mates and mates, but Jeff said, what are you doing? Yeah,
he knew you had the potential.
He did. And I always used to say it to Holly. I would say, Holly, I want to give up this drinking part. No, I wasn't an alcoholic. I didn't drink in a week. I just got to binge on the weekends, and that was it.
Do you know what I think as well, Sean? I don't know how you find it. But lots of men, if you've been in a pub or in a situation, like even with family members, and you speak to them and they go, hello mate, how you doing? And you do say, mate, I'm really shit at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm flat as a fucking pancake.
Yeah.
Some men don't know how to receive it.
They don't, no. They go quiet.
They go, oh.
Yeah.
That's really shit, mate. Like, I hope it sorts itself out for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, some men don't know how to receive it and return it to open that up.
They don't.
It's about depth. You've got to have a level of depth to you.
Do you know what? When you're speaking, the first time when I went down the Spinnaker, I lost Jade in May, and I went down the Spinnaker Tower. It was the following year. It was the last year, or year before. I can't actually remember. No, the year before. Went down straight away in July, so it was a big thing. I remember going up the top.
That sponsored abseil, was it?
Well, we paid for it. We abseiled down. It's a child bereavement, and then I remember at the top, got them all harnessed up, got the GoPro on. And you said about talking to someone. The guy said, can you tell us, we're talking now, what we're doing this for? And I said, I'm doing it under child bereavement, lost my daughter Jane, and I was spraying. As I'm talking, look, I did just a minute ago, I got emotional, choked up. Yeah, but that's normal. It's the first time someone come up to me, apart from my wife and other people, and Mal, never seen before, cuddled me. It made me feel, you sort of wanted to get out more. I just wanted to get out, I wanted to get on with it, and there's people with compassion and wants out.
Mate,
there's a lot of that in the world. People don't realise.
Everyone's the same.
Yeah, everyone's the same. Yeah.
Everyone feels. Yeah. Everyone hurts.
Yeah, everyone hurts and feels.
Do you know what I mean? Everyone responds to love. Everyone's the same. The difference is some people are so built up with it that they're not willing to let a little inch of it come out because they feel vulnerable.
They better let out. That's right, and that's that vulnerability. They don't want to feel that vulnerability, and sometimes you've got to get it out. And you just got to get it out there and get it out. Doesn't mean you're a weak person, because if you're a stronger person, if you can get it out there. Talk about it. 100%, not a weak person. Do you know what I mean? So
back you 100%.
Yeah, all right. No worries.
So what's the future hold for Shaun Knight then?
Well, the karate club's going well. The roofing, obviously, I'm working on it all still, on the roofing business, doing really well. Always flat out.
What's the roofing business called?
Shaun Knight Roofing Services. Yeah, we're really busy at the moment.
What sort of things you cover for Shaun Knight Roofing Services?
Everything, all aspects of roofing really, flat roofing, lead work, new roofs, repairs, faces, gutters, everything really you think about on the roof and we do it. And I've had to turn a lot of people away in the storm, sorry about that, but we are so busy at the moment, but I mean, what it is, I enjoy the karate now, I enjoy staying fit, I'm getting older. Your mindset thinks you're 21, I'm 57. I feel
Benjamin Button, mate. You are.
Yeah, but I feel quite strong, Chris. I mean, I had an operation on my arm years ago. It doesn't straighten anymore, but I still do bench press. I still do my karate. I still do my kicks. I still kick round the heads and back spinning kicks and things like that. Because that's my body, my brain tells me I can still do that. So I try to stretch it every time I train. And future for me, have some beautiful holidays with the family. Watch my kids grow up and get where they want to go in life, their challenges in front of them, what they want to do, and just live happily and be healthy, really, with the family, happy and healthy. I don't want much more, people around me happy.
Find peace.
Peace, yeah.
It's important.
Yeah. I don't know, people might not know this, but I'm a bit of a religious person.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, well, in a way where every day I've got OCD with my kids in their bedrooms. I've got a cross in the St. Christopher. St. Christopher's at home at the moment. I didn't wear it this morning because I snapped the chain accidentally. But I pray every day, a prayer every day for my family, every day. I've done that at such a young age. And when I was 19 or 18, 19, around here, I think I got out around here to be a tattooist, and I had a big Jesus head on my back.
Okay.
And I think I've been in scrapes, and I think I've prayed to him all the time to get me out of these places I've been in. And I think in times he got me out of places. So just in that, so I pray every day. I've got OCD, I'll go in my kids' rooms every day. Every night I'm in there 3 or 4 times, make sure after Jade I'm a little bit more in the bedrooms every night, I've got insomnia. But the future for me is just making sure my kids are healthy, we all stay healthy and are happy and just live nice, long, happy lives. Watch my kids grow up and make what they want to be doing. I've got young Harry, who's really amazing, talented young boy. He's brilliant at animation, he's clever at school. He's doing really well, brilliant at karate. You'll see him, he takes everything in his stride. He's only 11, and when he gets on that mat, he's a totally different person.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And he got George, who's my 16-year-old, 6'2".
All you night boys can look after yourself.
It's a big family, family.
Well, I just wanted to say to you, mate, keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
Tom and I back you 100%, mate. Keep sharing your videos, because you're just you're raising the awareness out there, and we back you 100%.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much for coming on and telling your story.
Thank you, Chris.
I've got something for you.
Thank you, Chris. Have you?
Now, I would normally give our gifts a little bottle of Plonk. But where I know you don't drink, you got a box of Tesco's Finest.
Oh, beautiful.
Cheers, Shawnee.
I am a biscuit man.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom.
That's us done.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that,
There you
mate.
go, mate.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Cheers, brother.